You have something in you that God is calling you to rise up into. And like me, you are looking at all the reasons why it can't happen. When we do, the impact is beautiful. You weren't meant to live life on autopilot. Welcome to Becoming Fully You with Lou, the podcast for women who love Jesus and want to live a purposeful, meaningful and fruitful life in everyday ways. This is the space where you get to know what makes you you and make intentional moves towards living a uniquely fully you life. A life flowing in love where you embrace your weaknesses, trust God and see that ripple into the world. And that is exactly what I'm stepping into too. I'm Lou, a life coach passionate about Jesus, feeling good, stepping out in faith and seeing lives transform. And I'm on a mission to see thousands of women step into their fully you life. This isn't about overtaking Jesus. It's about intentionally partnering with him in everyday meaningful ways and stepping into the good works he has created in advance for us. So let's go. Hello and welcome back to Becoming Fully You with Lou. I am so excited that I am finally doing what I said I would do and continuing dropping these podcast episodes. So much has changed since I was last on here, and I want to update you because I think it's going to encourage you in what God is calling you to in this season as well. So the biggest changes are to do with my home and my work. Seems like the massive things in life, doesn't it? Those two big pillars in our lives that I think quite often we create safety around. So I guess the biggest news is that I am stepping into a new season of becoming a coach. Now, I am a coach already. I'm an accredited coach. I did the training years ago. I have got my hours in. I have a business, but it's always been this little thing on the side which I kind of wished I could do, but couldn't see the way in which it would work. I would sit down and sometimes think of things and talk to my coach about like one day, maybe I'll go 4 days at work, but this job that I'm doing at the moment won't allow for that. There was all this kind of back and forth. And when I've got money coming in and I know that I can substitute the less day at work, then maybe I would turn it into working on it 1 day a week. And there was all of this me trying to work things out in my way, which is interesting because this morning I read Isaiah 6 and Isaiah 55, and in Isaiah 55 it says, "Your ways are higher than mine." And honestly, even though this is not the way I would have done this, even though this is not my way, even though this is not the plan that I had for my life, I know I can submit to God because his ways are higher than mine. I'd have made such a mess of this season of my life. So I'm having to daily come to him and submit to him because I am currently in a phase of building my business. And this happened through becoming redundant, through that safety net of salary and PAYE coming into my bank. I'm 1 month in. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, it feels. But I know I'm not. I'm safe in his hands, but it feels really, really inconvenient. I've got a great podcast coming up about what happens when life feels inconvenient and God says step in. But this one today is about what is going on and living our fully you lives. This is a season for me, I feel, where God is asking me to step into, fully into who I believe he is, who I believe he has created me to be, and what I believe he is calling me to do in this season, who he is calling me to become in this season, and actually stepping into it rather than just knowing the words, knowing the theory, being able to just offload a load of advice to other people about how to do it, actually by showing them, by doing it myself. And this was always the way. This was always what he told me. Like this time last year, I remember having a conversation and I said, God gave me a picture. And it was a picture built on a picture. So I had this moment where I remembered a picture that someone had given me quite a while ago, like a good 10, 15 years ago. And it suddenly came to mind again. And in the picture that he gave me, it was very much me in that picture, whereas in this moment he almost pulled me away to be able to see myself. And the picture that he gave me was torchbearers. Now, when I say torchbearers, I am talking Olympic torch, Indiana Jones style, okay? Not like your 50,000 candles type of torch. I'm talking the torch that we would have seen in the Bible, the times in the Bible where it talks about God being a light to our path. Those kind of torches, those kind of flames that only light the next couple of steps. And God showed me holding this kind of Olympic torch, but facing a dark cave. And he said to me, the only way of walking into this is by holding this torch. The only way of you walking the path through this is by holding the torch. But by doing it, as he pulled back from it being just me, I could see there were other women. And that's not me being like main character energy, look at me, follow me. It was, Lou, as you do this, as you choose to step into the unknown, choose to hold on to the light of the world, choose to walk with this flame into the unknown boldly with courage in all that I have called you to be, but in everything you know that I am. As you do that, as you become fully you are naturally gonna lead other women, and it will help them to step up and lead themselves. And then at this time, I was having coaching, and we started talking about the dance floor and then the buffet. And I said, I feel like stepping up and leading is like when we're sat looking at the buffet. You know that moment where there's a beautiful buffet, maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a party, a beautiful buffet is laid out. And they say, you know, it's ready, it's open, the buffet is open. And everyone kind of, I mean, this is me being very white, British, English in this, but everyone kind of just sits there and looks. And it's almost like someone is waiting for someone else to break the seal. Someone is waiting for someone to go up. And I said, but in that moment, I have always felt like me stepping up and going to the buffet, look at me, aren't I so greedy? And she said to me, what I see when you say you get up and go to the buffet is look at the food. It is so good. Why are you not eating it? And when she said that, it reminded me of the dance floor. Now, there is a picture from one of my friend's wedding that I absolutely love. And it is me and one other person on the dance floor at her wedding. No, we did not take the first dance slot. But there was that moment where no one was on the dance floor and the DJ was playing banging tunes. And I was like, I'm just going to go up, right? I don't really want to go up on my own, but I am going to go up and dance. And as I went to dance, like this friend of hers was like, yes, someone is going. I'm coming with you. I've been waiting for someone to get on the dance floor. Let's go. And we got on the dance floor, and then other people came and joined in because they saw this is good. This is fun. Let's join in. And so in this season, I feel that God is saying, Lou, embody the work that you do. Step up into the work that you do because it will draw others to you. And I want to encourage you in that as well. I want to encourage you in a couple of ways. The first way is that you have something in you that God is calling you to rise up into. Maybe you're already doing it. Maybe you've already started, but perhaps you are sat there thinking about it in your journal, talking about it over coffee. And like me, you are looking at all the reasons why it can't happen. Like I was last year. These are all the reasons, I say last year, half my life. These are all the reasons why what I really feel I'm meant to be doing, I can't do. And one by one, God has stripped them away. And this is not my plan. And yet God has provided an opportunity for me as I step into it. God doesn't humiliate the ones that he loves. And so he will provide for me. Whether that is through clients, whether that is through supernatural provision, I actually believe it is through what I would call natural provision. I suppose it's still supernatural. It still comes from him. What he's saying is step into the business, step into doing this because I'm going to provide for you through you doing that. This is going to be a provision for you to do what you are called to do, to step into what you are called to step into, and to help other women step into the season that they are called into as well. And so I want to encourage you that thing, that hope, that dream that's on your heart, whether it is for your family, whether it's just for your own life, it's all about who you want to become. This person that you see ahead of you that is fully you, but you don't quite feel like you're there yet. You're looking at her, and it's not about you comparing yourself to other people and going, oh, I wish I was like her, I wish I was like her, I wish I was like her. Or it's not about you looking ahead at the person you think you should be. We're not talking about those people. Those people, we can do some coaching around, we can work out what's going on. But what I'm talking about is when you silence, when you slay those shoulds, which is what we do in heart season, where you really listen into your heart. Again, what we do in heart season. By the way, we are releasing a new cohort of heart season in April. When you come back to your heart, and this isn't about you coming back to your heart without Jesus. This is about you coming back to your heart and partnering with him in it. Partnering in the good works he has already created in advance for you to do. When you come back to your heart and really listen in, there's a version of you that you know you are to become. And if you don't, I have offers and coaching and work that we can do because there is a version there. And so there is a part of you that you're thinking, oh, I just know that if I was fully me in my identity, if I was fully me in my integrity, walking in and embodying what I really believe, and if I was fully me in the impact that I give, wow, look at what God could do. And this isn't condemnation. This is not condemnation, right? This is not me saying, well, you should be doing it because I was in that place as well. And that's not to let me off the hook, but it's because God is gracious. God is inviting you into a season where you can begin to step in. And it's not about taking giant leaps. I think we have this idea that we have to have some sort of 90s makeover that feels awkward, that we have to awkwardly fall into. Like, you know, I know we all love Clueless, but you know the makeover I'm talking about. It wasn't her. That was the whole point of it. It wasn't her when it came round to it. And so this is not about a makeover. This is more like a tweakover. This is about us becoming more who we are called to be, taking the courage to do that. And that is exactly the work that I do with the women that I coach and with the women that are in my, I hate the word containers because I hate the idea of you being trapped. It's the like buzzword in coaching, but in my programs, in the work that I do, in my communities, that's probably a word that I feel more comfortable with. And so I wanted to encourage you to just take a moment to sit. And this is not actually where I thought I'd go with this podcast, but I want to encourage you as well that this is not about fully you, as in throw Jesus out the window. Just made me think about the man who fell out the window in the Bible, but that's not quite where I'm going now. This is not about you being fully you, as in I'm main character energy, look at me, selfish. Because I know that would make you back off massively. Because I know there is so much going on there when it comes to the idea of being fully you. But this is about you actually being obedient in worship. This is about you giving your whole life as a sacrifice. Putting it on the altar and saying, you know what, God, I have been trying to blend in like some sort of smoothie. I have been trying to fit a formula. I have not been intentional with coming back to my heart and really being and really leaning into who you've created me to be and what you've created me to do. Whether that is even the global aspect of what God has called us to do, to go make disciples, to do the good works that he has created in advance for us, those kind of things. Even those smaller things, I say smaller, they're huge, but of actually taking my thoughts captive, of leading my life the way in line with the fact that I'm new creation now. Again, this is not condemnation, this is invitation. God is calling us to courageously rise into the person he is calling us to be. And when we do, the impact is beautiful. It is wonderful because the impact is God created. So when I say becoming fully you, this is about being fully you in who God has created you to be. And when you are being who God has fully created you to be, there's a shift. I want to take you through over the next few weeks what some of those things look like. But for now, I want to leave it here and I want to just give you a simple journal prompt and then invite you into an offer with me, into working with me. And so the simple journal prompt is this: take some time to listen to your heart. Now, you can create that environment. For some of you, it will literally need to be silence. For others of you, you'll want to put some worship music on. I actually find worship music quite distracting, especially if there's lyrics, or even if it's instrumental, but I know the lyrics. Sometimes I just have lo-fi playing because it just creates the atmosphere. But other times, to listen to your heart, maybe you need silence. Maybe you're an outdoors person. Actually, to listen to your heart, you need to move your body. So to listen to your heart, you need to go on a walk and maybe have your voice notes with you to offload things that are coming into your mind. Maybe to listen to your heart, you want us to go and rest somewhere that's not at home. Whatever it is for you, loop earplugs in. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Does that count as an advert? I hope not. You're coming to this point. That was really off point. But you're coming to this place to really listen into your heart. And if you don't know how to do that, if you're thinking, Lou, I love the idea of listening to my heart, but every time I try and do it, there's just a million other things on my mind, then I want to encourage you to come in to Heart Season. If you join now, you will get 30% off, which makes it £63. Plus, you will also get access to the March Journal Club online workshop. So this is an online workshop where you get to come and we're going to reflect on the first few months of this year, realign our hearts and redirect our feet to where we need to go in the next few months. So I'd love to have you there. I'm going to sign off now, but it was great to speak to you. I always love to hear from you. So please do rate, comment, subscribe, and I would love to hear from you. So jump onto my Instagram, send me a DM and tell me what is on your heart for this season. All the details are in the show notes.